Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. We are continuing on right here, right now, on your Solar Systems livestream. So last time, we quickly ended on like a safe thingy, which is what I thought was like a good place to actually to end it there. In any case, Layton is telling Emmy and Luke more about his past in order to shed some light on the present. In the past, Randall solved a puzzle pointing to an ancient treasure noted in Donut Ruffledge's Ancient Histories. He believes that the solution to his puzzle will lead him to the greatest finance century. Chapter 4: Angela's Tears. What? What is it? That, my friends, is the hidden message of Norwell. That's a hidden message? What are you talking about? No, keep your hair on and allow me to elaborate. I have at long last cracked the riddle concealed in the northern wall. You solved the riddle that no one else ever managed to solve? Really, Randall? I certainly didn't tell you sooner, Angie. I didn't want to see the look on your faces and revealed everything all at once. You know, it was a whole topic when it was first discovered, but since then it's become a mere tourist attraction. That's where you could have just faded into obscurity without anyone noticing, but not now, not of this. Okay, Trav. Have a good time eating. You mean because you decided this message? Hold on. A discovery as great as this deserves a far more elaborate introduction. Does it? Notice the giant ancient wall, and it's sitting right here on a doorstep, just in the outskirts of Stansbury. It was found about 30 years ago while they were cleaning the forest to make room for new houses. When it was first announced, all sorts of explorers flooded in to try to decipher the ancient script on the wall. But the thing is, nobody succeeded. Not one of them worked it out. They tried and failed, and then everyone forgot. Why does such a massive wall stand there? What message does it hold? Nobody knew, until now. Because you've solved it? How on earth? What does it say then? That is something I'd like to explain at the site itself. Come with me, my friends, to the Norman Wall. Wait, what? You want to go there now? Shh, keep it down, Hirsch. Let's just slip out quickly. Phew. We're out, and my father is none the wiser. Nora's in the woods, isn't it? Won't it be really dark once you get past Old Market? We should take torches. Oh, we'll be fine. The stars are out, and we're not going deep into the forest. If you say so. Come on, Nan, to Norwell. Oh, I do like how it actually shows us where the fuck to go. Up. What are you thinking of in the dark then? Well, we're going on a pioneering expedition of great significance to the future of archaeology. Want to come? I'd have loved to. If you had asked me 10 years ago, you lot of fun in your little adventure. How dull, and just tell us what to review our brilliant introductions too. Enjoy being a swan like where you can, Ascot. We'll soon find out which of us can actually make something of his life. Already have made something of my life. You might get your name on some hotel, but I'll be in the history books. I'll give it a resty too. I'm sorry, Dalston. Please don't mind Randall. We were just going anyway. Here we are. Within the forest lies the subject of today's enterprise, the ancient Norman Wall. Yes, we know. We live here too, remember? Good grief, spare us the melodrama. Randy, everyone in Stansbury knows that. Cripes, you two, you have no soul. You have to build the mood in these troops, motivate the troops, so to speak. Sure. Now let's proceed with enthusiasm, please. Yes. Hold on though, there's a puzzle at this gate. Act right, look, the gate's locked. That's probably to keep out shady types like Randy. What are we going to do? We're not my friends. You only have to look closely to see the gate is locked by a puzzle. Solve it and you're through. Really? Padlocked gate. The gate is secured by a sturdy padlock of unusual code. Try to open the lock right and randomly to arrange the 9 panels so that every vertical, horizontal and diagonal set of numbers of 3 adds up to the same sum. It might look impossible, but there are more numbers on the back of the panels. Move and flip the panels to enter the code and help our heroes unlock the padlock. Plus that doesn't work, because then you get that. Arrange the 9 panels so that every vertical, horizontal and diagonal set of 3 numbers adds up to the same sum. Every horizontal, diagonal and vertical. Don't worry, we extend these has to be 3 as well. Seven, but that's 6. We move you to a 2. That's 8, 7. Not going to be the answer. Eek.
I hate being wrong.
course, I see it now.
Time to solve this little puzzle.
Of course it is.
There is no puzzle without a solution.
Yeah, I see now what's happening there. Yes, we're in. Zero grind, you really did it. I must say I'm impressed. You have a natural talent for lockpicking. Hold on a sec, you're making me sound like a common thief now. Come on, let's go. Probably you are a common thief. Huh? Randy? The Nora wall is just up ahead. It's up this path. It's a bit dark, isn't it? Ryan, do you think it's a good idea to be going into the forest at this time? That'll be fine. We can just follow the path for the tourists. See, there's even a helpful sign there. That sounds as it's been seen better days. Of course there's a puzzle. Golly, you weren't kidding. The sign is in a really sorry state. I'd be amazed if tourists could find the place at all. Let's try to fix the sign for the next lot come by. How does this go, then? Wait, a chatted sign. What time the sign fell off, and Herschel and his friends won't continue about fixing it. How they're moving, irritating the task to fix up the sign. Ah.
I'm not certain.
Did it.
Did I get it?
So that way's the right way to go, right? Yay, we did it. And there we go. I wonder why I was on the ground like that, though. It didn't look so that it would fall apart simultaneously. Well, I might have brushed past it last time I was here. Honestly, Randy, couldn't you have put it back together at the time? I don't know, but that was 40 puzzles so far. Wait, what's that? Hold on, where are you going? Randy, it's dark. Watch you don't trip. Of course it's a puzzle. Just look around, there are footprints everywhere. Well, I can't even make out how many sets there are. We should stay on our toes. Or these tracks belong to might be up to no good. Stop trying to make it sound sinister, Randy. Sure, they were just maybe a group of tourists. Maybe, or maybe not. Or one of my other great expeditions, I remember seeing some mysterious troopers by a bridge. You should always stop to find out how many potential villainous foes you're dealing with, Hirsch. Work out... oh god. Here's a bridge at the side of the river. The ground's all muddy, but you can see the footprints left by the people who have been here recently. None of them seem to have the same footwork. So can I cross the bridge? Yeah, 2. There's only 2 different footprints on the bridge itself.
I'm not certain. Did I get it?
Correct, only 2 people cross the bridge. There might be a lot of footprints in front of the bridge, but there are only footprints for 2 on the bridge itself. So, but that was kind of just reading correctly, I guess. CMA feigned his interest, but you're actually pretty easy at solving puzzles. Well, not really. It was just luck. I'm sorry, Herschel. I'm afraid Randy has puzzles in the brain. What's wrong with that? The world is full of puzzles, just asking to be solved. And the next one, the Norwal Wall.
There it is. The Wall of Norwell.
What does it all mean, Randall?
I don't have it all quite worked out yet, but I have decoded some of the glyphs, and I'm certain that this entire wall is one big map. Have a look, Herschel. Tell me you see it.
A map to where?
That's the question, isn't it? But the greater question is, Herschel, do you like puzzles?
Really? Really? Randall, if you're right about this, it's a radical step forward for archaeology. And yet the pattern is pretty obvious once you spot it. Oh, now I think of it, maybe it's easier if you look at this. What is it? It's a transcript of one section of the symbols. Look closely, Hirsch. Where have you seen a pattern like that recently? I've seen something like this before. Well, the fossil Mr. Collins said is reconstruct. That's what you're talking about, isn't it? Precisely, it's the same basic principle. Cut your model into squares and muddle them up. Bingo, you have a puzzle. So it's simple that none of the experts even thought to try. Incredible. That's incredible, Randall. You haven't seen anything yet. Just wait until you solve the puzzle. Why, what's going on to happen? Now, you see when you cracked it. Oh no. Here's a copy of the character inscribed on the wall. Torn up at 16 squares and arranged in the same way. Move the pieces of paper so they form a 4x4 square. However, you can only move pieces horizontally and vertically in sets of 4. Arrange the pieces of paper and set... Oh god. Okay. This is something I do want to instantly see. God. I literally have no clue. You know, also in 3 moves. We also just.
Here goes. Puzzles can be quite fun.
I just should have started with a different one first. Oh, we got it. The lines of the ancient inscription seems to create some kind of maps. Superimposed on the map is a diagram in the shape of a plow, the 7th brightest star of Ursa Major. The plow is simply used to find Polaris, the North Star. Does the plow in this map also point to something? Puzzle 64, Noble Secrets, now Puzzle Index. Accent Hirsch, you're not my best friend for nothing. The point is that this whole wall is one giant map pointing to one particular spot. Really, it doesn't look detailed enough to be useful as a map. To see the map underneath the star chart exactly matches the terrain beyond the hills. I followed the map over the hills all the way to its destination and dug. And that, my fellow adventurer, is where I found the mask. You look it up? Does that mean you went off to some remote place on your own? Randy, you promised you wouldn't do anything dangerous. Don't be cross, Angie. Have a look at this. What is it? I copied a page out of Ruthless Ancient Histories. Look, the symbol on the mask is exactly the same as in the book, and it has to be it. This is the Mask of Chaos. It's a shame I couldn't find its twin, the other mask that Ruthless wrote about, but... Are you sure you're not getting carried away? The symbol could just be a coincidence. Perhaps, but that's not all. The box holding the mask all contained a stone tablet. And that tablet offered its own amazing revelation. Yet another revelation. This is getting a bit much. Yes, indeed. Honestly, this is the best part. The mask is much more than a prized artifact. It's also a key. A key that will guide us to the treasure of the ancients. What, then again, you believe this incredible treasure trove has been lying around for centuries? Oh, absolutely. Having studied the mask, I'm quite convinced. That artifact belongs to a civilization far, far more ancient than anything in recorded history. Not only that, but I believe these people possess knowledge and technology far greater than our own. The treasure we're looking for is not just some precious trinket, it's the legacy of an entire civilization. Here, look at this. This is the secret cipher that was written on the tablet. The cipher I've cracked. This will be used to leave messages for posterity. If you know the cipher, it's clear that these engravings on the inside of the mosque are also a map. And right as it leads, a legendary place that has ever eluded explorers and archaeologists, fabled Akbadine. Akbadine? You have to go, so you have to come with me to Akbadine. No, you can't. It's too dangerous. I won't let you go, Randy. Oh, you won't let me? Just how do you plan to stop me? I still have free will, don't I? Randy, you're complete clot. You're so self-centered. Sometimes I don't even... I've had enough. Hey, what are you doing? Oh crap, she's run off with the mask. Dash it. Dash though. She doesn't appreciate how valuable the thing is. Come on, Ursula, we have to find her. Alright. Angela, where are you? I can't see her anywhere. Ah, we just have to keep looking. I guess we'll just look and ask. Are you always looking for Angela? I saw her fly past just now. Not literally, of course. Ah, she must have gone down Pebble Lane then. Oh, you don't suppose she's gone to memory, Noel, do you? How do you know I would, all in tears? Well, go on then, go and find her. Hello lads, what's the story? Hello, have you seen Angela go by? Angela, yeah, saw her running down Pebble Lane as it happens. She looked all bent out of shape too. What did you boys say to make such a lady such as yourself cry? Did you... Sorry Lana, we're in a bit of a hurry. Yes, well you better go after her and apologize, ain't you?
Angela! Angela, come on now. Give me the mask. You're acting like a... There now. There's no need to cry. Everything will be fine. Just trust me. Huh?
You sound just like my brother. Before he left. And he never came back, Randall.
I know I said I wouldn't do anything dangerous, but I need that mask, Angela. I'm sorry about what happened to your brother, but I'm not him.
Randall, can we just drop this for now?
No, Herschel, we can't. Look, Angela, I know this is hard for you, but please.
Please what? Please let you go and endanger yourself while I just sit here and wait for you to never come back?
I will come back. I promise. I have to do this, Angela. I can't just live in my father's shadow my entire life. I need this, and I need your help to do it.
Randall.
It's all right, Miss Angela. Master Randall will return. I know it.
Oh, Henry. You startled me. I didn't know you were there.
You needn't worry, Miss Angela. Master Randall said this would be his last expedition. Isn't that right?
Yes?
Did you really say that, Randall?
Of course. This will be my last and greatest trip into the ruins. Angela, please.
All right. As long as you promise not to do anything dangerous or stupid.
Nothing dangerous. And Herschel here will make sure I don't do anything stupid.
I need to go home. I'm exhausted. Please, be careful.
Always. Henry, would you mind escorting Angela home?
Not at all.
So Herschel, we're going to unearth the most important archaeological find in history. Aren't you excited?
Not really, no.
Let's go back to my place and make sure we have enough supplies.
All right. I do hope you intend to keep your promise, Randall.
Plan finished at Randall's. Water, food, torch, compass. I think that's everything. Are you ready, Hirsch? Haha, I've been waiting for ages, Randall. What's wrong? I've bought some tea. Thank you, Henry. By the way, I'm grateful for what you did earlier. It was nothing. I'm glad I could be of assistance. You worked so long and so hard to fulfill this dream. I felt like I had to do something. Thank you, Henry. I mean it. It was no trouble, truly. Hirsch, did I tell you that Henry's been helping me with my research? I never had got this far without his help. Is that right? So Henry, are you coming with us to explore the ruins? Unfortunately, no. I must remain here to perform my household duties. You must know how busy Henry is. My father is a demanding man, but he's taken a liking to Henry. If Henry were to go with us, my father would uncover the whole plan straight away and stop us. Ah, I hadn't thought of that. So it looks like we're all set. You should probably go home and get some sleep, Herschel. Tomorrow we set out to conquer the Aquan ruins. This could be my biggest threat in the century, my friend. That would be something. If I had stopped Randall, the night he might still be with us now. If only we had listened to Angela. Oh my, we're going to save. We're still half an hour on the clock. Chapter 5. On the Gentleman's Trail.
After finding the truth behind the masked gentleman's past miracles, we went to the Gallery Plaza. There, we witnessed innocent bystanders being lifted into the air before they disappeared. Within minutes, the police arrested Alphonse Dalston on suspicion of aiding the masked gentleman. Could it be that he was the mastermind behind this series of incidents? As dawn broke on our third day in Montedor, I wondered, had we come any closer to the truth?
Good morning, Luke. Did you sleep well? We'll be sending out shortly to begin today's investigation. Okay, I'm awake. Morning, sleepyhead. Did you have a good lie-in? You were about to count, so I helped myself to breakfast. What? How could you? Ho ho, I was just teasing, Luke. Now before we head out, let's summarize our plans for today. Right, today's miracle was supposed to take place in Tingley Town. Dingleytown. Let's hope it lives up to its name. It sounds exciting. No, it doesn't. I mean, people might be in danger. It's not appropriate to be excited. Very responsible of you, Luke. Wait, don't tell me you're afraid. Afraid? Not at all. I'm sure today's the day we'll catch a wild gentleman and foil his plans. That's spur, Luke. We must clear up the issue of Dalston as well. I am sure that it was innocence. Let's head to the city hall first and hear what the police has to say. The city hall is north of Lador's mansion, isn't it? Let's get a move on. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. I kinda missed a lot of puzzles. I think we need to solve at least 50 of them probably for the next thing, so we might need to go back here. Let's first go to the police. Oh, to the city hall, I mean. Let's first look at that. Let's first see if we can actually get there. Cross key. I haven't been able to bring a question out of this Dalton chap. Are you sure he's a man? Alvarez is an inspector. The masked gentleman appeared tonight, just as he said he would. That's right, Mr. Dawson's got too much invested in Montador. It doesn't make sense. Dingleytown is the next door. Unless something is done to prevent it, there will be another incident tonight. Not on my watch. We need to talk to the chief inspector. He believes he has to go, but has already put the patrol officers back on the regular schedule. Then hurry along the waiting room. They're about to start. No. Professor Layton, glad you could make it. We're about to continue the interrogation. Maybe sit in. Please do. The more sets of eyes we have on a suspect, the better the chance of catching him if he's hiding out. Catching him out if he's hiding something. Alright, Dalston, let's make this quick. Why'd you do it? For crying out loud, it's not me. Shouldn't you be looking out for clues or something instead of harass me? The old I'm innocent routine, eh? Well, tough guy, we know you used the horse-drawn carts in the statue's trick. A racing chariot to be precise. We found tracks all over the scene. So what was it for? Your getaway? Your accomplices? What was it? Tell us what you did and who helped. And the judge might go easy on you. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. Cut the act, Dalston. You got a chariot and we found tracks from a chariot plastered all over the scene. I have a chariot, but it's not the only chariot in town. Maybe you should talk to the man who runs the race course. What would I gain from scaring people from the town away? A dependent tourist. Alright, Dalston, we can do this the hard way. We've already spoken to the manager of the race course, and he said he hasn't noticed any of the chariots go missing. Those things aren't cheap, and let me tell you, there is no one in Montador who owns a private chariot. We've also got your motive, jealousy. Mrs. Lador rejected your proposal, so you want revenge on Mr. Lador. You can accept that the former butler got rich and married your woman. Mr. Lador told us about it. Lador said that? Rotten little... Dave Bloom, can we really say such a thing that incriminates Dalston? Well, the fact remains that it belonged to a chariot, and the chariot was used to deposit some detectives like statues. Another trick relies on crowd mentality. People quickly turn hysterical. If one person were, say, to feign illness, a crowd would form. This would keep the audience concerned and distracted. Exactly, and during this time, other accomplices could do as they wish, such as wheeling in statues on a cart. With the statues in place, the accomplices could easily start screaming that the people had turned to stone. Which could trigger panic, the worried crowd promptly forgets the first affiliate incidents and tries to flee. And as they flee, they no doubt see several of these statues, which intensifies their fear. I couldn't have said it better, Professor. Professor, I'm confused. We didn't see any chariots there that night. How could anyone hide those statues in front of all those witnesses? We were missing the wood for the trees. There was only one hiding place large enough, and we were looking at it. Where was that? A ring was hidden inside the giant clown balloon. What? How? Our minds have a way of labeling an object's presence once we see it. We didn't watch the balloon the whole time. But we saw the balloon floating. How could the stage have been inside? The balloon is attached, so it must have been filled with buoyant gas. I recall the clown came down when they burst. Only an extreme sturdy vehicle could have been used to transport all those statues. And Justin is the chief stood behind these acts because of his wealth. Correct, none of them stunts would come cheap. Buying props and paying so much accomplices would require a lot of cash. He's got the means and a motive. I think he's our man. I doubt we'll see another appearance from the Wild Gentleman as long as we have Dalston in custody. I cannot be so sanguine. I'm sorry to hear that, Professor. But from where I'm standing, it looks as though we can just about close this case. If the gentleman does appear, well, now I have to rethink things. If he does appear, I may approach him directly about this Mask of Order. Interesting. In the meantime, there are a few things I'd like to look into. I'm curious about these chariots. A quick once-over of the racecourse might shed some light on mystery. By all means, let me know if you find any more evidence pertaining to Mr. Dalton. The petrification miracle. The petrification miracle was nothing but an elaborate trick. The perpetrators created a distraction where they placed statues all around. With a panicked shouts, they then panicked the crowds, and the statues were real people turned stone. All the culprits had to do was place statues, then claim they were whites and turned stone. This created panic among the crowd. It's not solved though yet. But at least we're a step further in our investigation. We need more evidence to convince the Chief Inspector. Let's see if we can track down the chariot that was used. Mr. Nelson mentioned the race course, and Chief Inspector said he'd already checked with the manager and nothing was missing. It's our investigation at any rate. Perhaps they overlooked something. You never know what you may find unless you try. I saw the race course on the map back at the hotel. It's just north of here. Well, now what are we waiting for? Just FYI, I think maybe none of them was missing, but maybe like it's been placed back. But the race course is huge. You can practically smell a lot of wage of money in the air.
Wow! Everybody's so excited! Looks like that will last for about another 15 seconds.
There goes my yacht.
What's that?
I would wager that he lost his bet.
It looks as some of the guards are in use right now, Professor. Well done, if that's the case, we could always check the shed they store, right? Yes, but first we have to find the person in charge here. Perhaps the fellow over there. Probably. Oh, he has a puzzle for us. Good day to you, my good sir. I'm Gustav, the manager of the racecourse. How may I help you? My name is Layton. I'm investigating the masked gentleman at the request of Mrs. Lador. Could I ask you some questions? Only too happy to help, sir, though I do have one condition. You shall have to solve a puzzle I've recently perfected. Oh no, are you really... One day, 4 people took part in a racing tournament. First, they held races of 2, and then the winners raced against each other, then the loser battled for third. Kira got to order based on the comments below. On one race, I lost another. B didn't make it to the final. C, if only I had lost to B. C, A, B, D. C beat A. A won one race and lost one. So A could easily be second. A still raced against either D or B and won. Then D and B, A and C took it up to each other and like C won. B and D fought it out. Well, B wasn't in the finals. And D says that he hasn't they lost to B, so
I believe I have this one. Solving puzzles is truly a pleasure.
all the places make sense. Correct, C came in first, A in second, B third, and D came last. D didn't say very about the result, did he? Outstanding work. Now, what questions did you have? Do you recall anything unusual happening shortly before the petrification incident? Anything unusual? No, I'm afraid it's been rather routine around here for a while now. Were already cards removed from the track in the last 3 days? I don't believe so. But to be honest, I have enough duties here, I wouldn't necessarily know the details. But if one was removed, we'll have a record of it somewhere. We'd like to take a look at one. And all the chairs being raised now. Now I believe we still have a few sitting at the back of the shed. The bar over here, please, don't mind the smell. These are the racing chariots that Chief Inspector mentioned. I can see why the criminal would just racing at a regular cart. These look sturdy, good for looking heavy items. You could have worked quite a bit on one of these, Professor. Let's take a closer look at this one. It is fairly bulky. It would be difficult to remove from the ground without being noticed. Could have maybe have ridden one out of here? Unlikely, any good have like tracks, and doesn't make any leading off the side. Oh, you need a horse for starters. Wait, what's this? What is it, Professor? Both of you, take a closer look at this. The bolts can be pulled out to take this chariot apart. No doubt the chariots are much easier to transport when it is assembled. One can transfer the pieces and assemble the carts whenever it needed to be used. So that's how the criminals slipped out without leaving a trail. But how did they do it in the first place? Surely someone here would see if you're taking apart the chariots. Very stir, Luke. Let's ask Gustav a few more questions. Gustav, is there ever a reason to remove the chariots from the race course? Well, occasionally they need maintenance or repair. That's the only reason for them to leave the grounds. We number each one, and any repair or maintenance orders assigned by the owner, Mrs. Lador. Would you like to see our maintenance records? If it's not too much trouble. Certainly. Interesting. You found something? One of the racing chariots was out doing the maintenance during the status incident. It was returned yesterday. Surely you're not suggesting a connection between this cart and the nefarious masked gentleman? Simply one of the several possibilities. It's certainly nothing to worry about. Henry signed the repair order. Yes, but that's standard procedure. No chariot can be removed from the premises without Mr. Lador's approval. Regrettably, you missed the opportunity to speak to Mr. Lador by mere minutes. Henry was here? Yes, I believe I just come from the scene of last night's incident. I understand some black clothes was found in the gallery plaza. Apparently Mr. Lador donated to the gallery were wrapped in some kind of clothes. He spoke to the courier about it. Black Clove, interesting, thank you, Gustav. You've been most helpful. I believe our next step should be the Lador residence. No doubt, we still haven't had a chance to speak at length with Mr. Lador. Isn't he bound to be a busy professor? Most likely, I believe he'll make time for us. We're investigating on his wife's behalf after all. So Jairus was a tripper during the time the miracle took place. That can't be a coincidence. But you never know, Emily. We have to consider all the possibilities. Very true, Luke. We can't confirm anything as fact without decisive evidence. But a visit to the racecourse is still rather fruitful. If nothing else, we now know how the levitation miracle worked. We do? Don't you mean the petrification miracle, Professor? No, definitely levitation. I'll explain later. For now, we need to go to Lador Mansion and talk to Henry. Right, I hope Mr. Lador has time to see us. Yes, I very much hope so as well. The levitation miracle. How would that happen then? Like balloons, yeah, sure, but like you would see those. Go and see Henry. Anja, we're hoping to speak to Henry. Is he here now? As a matter of fact, he arrived just a moment ago. Could you wait in the parlor? I'll call him for you. Thank you.
I assume you still take your tea with milk?
Why, yes. Thank you, Henry.
You're very welcome. I would never ask a servant to wait on an old acquaintance. You may find that a bit strange, but I hope it doesn't make you uncomfortable.
Why, not at all. I must say, Henry, the success and fame you've achieved here in town is quite astounding.
I wouldn't call myself successful. I've just been very lucky.
For the honor of this visit. I was hoping you could answer some questions. You own the Montador racecourse, correct? Yes, why? There's evidence to suggest one of your racing chariots was used in the petrification incident the other day. Absurd, the chariots cannot be taken out of the stadium without my written permission. Each one has a serial number that is locked if it is ever removed. Correct, the converse is also true. However, a chariot may be removed given that you have granted permission. What are you implying, Layton? Seems pretty clear to me, Mr. Lador. Simply that your log shows that one of the chariots was out of the night statues incident. With your approval. The chariots were moved for repairs and returned to the racecourse yesterday. Tracks on those chariots match the set of tracks found seen at the crime. Well, that's unsettling. And there's more. There are grounds to believe that you were involved in the levitation stint to the court last night as well. Layton, you can't be serious. I understand that after the incident with the paintings, you donated the number of works to the gallery. When the masked gentleman appeared to be walking on thin air, I believe he used a wire stretched across the plaza. Those donations were rather hefty parcels, were they not? Their weight was used to secure the wire. This ridiculous, far-fetched notion, Layton. You had all those heavy donations stored on top floors so they could use to keep the wire taut, correct? Pure conjecture, but you must continue. I understand you already heard about the black cloth found in the gallery. The one gentleman used devices to lift accomplices into the air and black cloth to conceal them. Observers blinded by neon lights against the night sky believed the accomplice had simply vanished. Professor, is anyone really capable of performing such an elaborate stunt? Yes, however, such events would require quite a bit of financing. Henry, unsurprisingly, you and Dalston topped a very short list of suspects with the means at their disposal. Well, if usually can't prevent you from suspecting me, I do believe you're forgetting something important. No one's fortune is more tied to the city than mine. If it collapses, I am ruined. So I've heard. However, the more the masked gentleman appears, the busier Montador seems to become. Without fail, the masked gentleman acts have all taken place in large crowds near major tourist attractions. One would expect the city to experience such a chaos to regain a reputation for lawlessness and criminal activity. Instead, the rumor seems to focus on a mysterious, charismatic gentleman who performs miracles. I think anyone hearing such stories will be curious enough to pay Montador a visit. It'd pique my interest, right? Precisely, to the average onlooker, the masked gentleman's miracles look like a particularly grand performance. And as I'm sure you're aware, the number of spectators increases with each subsequent miracle. Layton, am I hearing you correctly? Are you insinuating that I hired the masked gentleman to boost tourism? It seems a possibility, yes. My wife apparently trusts you enough to have summoned you here. But 18 years ago, you left Randall for dead and ran off to London. I don't trust you. You betrayed the memory of your friend, and I have the nerve to make these ludicrous accusations in my own home. I explored every Angel Asian death trap, but nothing but Randall's notes as guides, out of loyalty to him. You have no right to be here. You dishonor his name. Henry, let me explain. Leave, Layton. There's nothing more to discuss. Farewell, we will leave. But please hear me out about one thing. It concerns the future of your city. Alphonse Dance is not a criminal, and it's more likely the masked gentleman will appear again tonight. If you're telling the truth, then I hope to see you tonight as well. If so, perhaps we can unravel this together. I have nothing more to say to you. Angela, please escort the guest out. Of course, Henry. To create the illusion of walking in midair, the masked gentleman used wire string between the gallery and the marquee. His victims were simply accomplices who were lifted up by balloon-like devices, then cloaked in black cloth. This is no miracle. The masked gentleman and his henchmen mingled in the crowd, then gave the signal. Herschel, I'll see you out. We have nothing more to discuss. Damn.
I'm sorry, Herschel.
It is I who should apologize. I've obviously upset your husband.
Don't worry about Henry. He gets emotional sometimes, especially concerning Randall.
Understood. But I also have the feeling that Henry is hiding something.
Oh, I doubt that. Henry is an open book. He always has been.
I'm not so certain you know him as well as you pretend to.
I beg your pardon? What do you mean by that, Herschel?
I intended no offense, Angela. All will become clear in time. We will soon get to the bottom of things.
Yes, well... Thank you, Herschel.
Henry is clearly hiding something, which he cannot or will not speak about. What could the secret be? Why does Henry continue to pour money into Montador, knowing the masked gentleman might strike at any time? Angela has been acting strangely, and she may be hiding something. Could her old behavior be somewhat related to the masked gentleman? It has certainly been many years since I knew Angela at school. I confess she seems quite a changed person. But that's also it for this hour. Thank you all very much for watching. We have done yet another hour. Have a good one, and we'll see you all during the next time. Good day.